afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap. It is Wednesday, and what a day. You know, you're going to turn on the TVs, the newspapers, and everyone's going to talk about the big market move today, whether they call it the crash, the correction, the downward spiral, whatever they want to call it. You know, if you trade actively, you know that it was a bit of a surprise. Not like a real big, huge surprise, but, you know, in the last week, you know, as just say, if you look at the chart of the spiders, as it was hovering around here, it was a very lethargic move. But at the same time, let's do the SPX actually. At the same time, the SPX was, you know, back to 2400. Remember the first time it was at 2400, like around here? Well, this time at 2400, okay, things were a little bit different. What do I mean by a little bit different? Let's go to the IWM. IWM, this was the first time we were at 2400, and then we were here. So something was saying that the small caps are lagging. Why are they lagging? Maybe that's a little bit of a problem. So this morning we talked about the IWM 137. Do we get below 137 and stay below it? If so, that's going to tell us we could be in a trend down day, which is exactly what we were. Okay, so now basically we're below the 8, 21 day and 50 days. So now the question is, you know, how does it handle this big support area? For tomorrow, you know, all you know is today's little pivot 134.75. Maybe we open lower and come up a little bit and get some kind of red dog reversal just for a trade. Maybe we open up and some people get the H sell set up, maybe for a trade to the short side. It all depends. But today was a day, you know, if you came in with 8, 9 positions like I did, you had a little bit of time to get the frick out. Excuse my French. So anyway, you go back here. Let's go to the daily chart. You know, I talked about last night even, I tweeted, I said, you got to watch 2380. Why 2380? Because this was your spot, right? This was where we've been holding. So what wound up happening? Gap below the 2-day pivot. You basically had about 15 minutes to decide what you wanted to do around this 2380. I actually came in short the spiders in long position, so I got out, I covered there, and then later in the day I'll go over the H sell setup where we reshorted for a nice little trade. But for now, you know, you basically, if you look at the accelerated trend, which we trade here, like I personally trade the accelerated trend for a living, that's what I try and do, it's basically broken, okay? It broke right there. You know, you could circle this spot. Doesn't mean the market's going to correct 15, 20, 30%, but this is your spot that if you do trade actively for P&L like I do, you know, from the little low in the election to, you know, to this trend line that's been intact to being above the 21 day, it all changed today. So tomorrow, we'll see what's next. You know, if they open them up tomorrow, I think people will probably try and fade into some resistance. If they open down, maybe we get some kind of, you know, buy the rubber band down. You know, oops, sorry. Here is you know, what you know. What do you know? Now we have a point of reference here, which is 2359, and then we'll see, you know, what's next. But as of now, the momentum trade is done. The new trade to 2400 plus is done. The new 52-week high trade and a lot of the FANG names are done. Okay, so that's that there. You know, another clue that we had, you know, with the IWM was the XLF. Okay, the XLF, you know, has been doing a whole lot of nothing. Last time, you know, the XLF made a new high, you know, it was before the market. This time, S&P was trying to break out above 2400 up here, and look what this was. Couldn't get out of its own way. And now all of a sudden, you know, closed basically on the lows. And now you have this, what looks like a head and shoulders top pattern with the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. Maybe first time this holds again, but if this were to break below this, you better be careful. Look at Goldman Sachs, you know, just like that, broke what looked like was decent support, and now all of a sudden, you know, here you are there. Okay, so that's not too healthy. I actually came in long Citigroup. Okay, so let's talk about trade management. I came along Citigroup. Okay, I talked about how in order to keep me in this, it's got to hold 61.38. Okay, it gave you about 15 minutes while Bank of America was making lows, markets were coming in. I'm like, you know what? Why is Citigroup going to hold on? So I think I got out probably somewhere around, you know, 61, 61.40, which is a hell of a lot better than 60.05. Okay, why is that going to break out by itself? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we talked about tech. What could tech do? Well, will tech hold, okay, this momentum trend and stay above the 8-day, which it's been holding since breaking out above here at post-French election, or break the 8-day, break the 21-day, and it did that with force. So who knows? Maybe it corrects down to here. What was one of our clues? Apple. I was long Apple overnight. I've been long it, you know, pretty much for a while. What was the level here in Apple? What did we talk about this morning? The 8-day moving average, which was 153.5. Okay, if tech was going to hold, Apple was probably going to hold the 8-day. It's been above the 8-day even after that lackluster earnings report. Okay, so if you go to the 5-minute chart, you'll see how you could have navigated it. You had to be fast. You had to know what you were looking at. Okay, and right away in Apple, okay, here it is. I actually had a bid out. If you are in the VTF with me, I had a bid out of 153.55. I got hit on the bid in the first minute. Came up, took a little bit off, and then I said if we break the morning low, okay, which is 153.50, which is also the 8-day, I'm out of my Apple. Some guys flip short. I'm not flipping short. I'm just getting out. It means that, you know what, we had a huge run. It means tech could be in trouble, just like the S&P is breaking 2380 and the small caps are weak and the banks kind of suck, and that was your out right there. And here you are all the way down towards the 150 area. So now I'm out of Apple, and hopefully tomorrow, I'm hoping we get it down open. We get it down open, you know what, maybe it holds the, what's it called, the 21-day, which would be nice. Okay, or maybe even you get a trade down to here, which is the last prior breakout. But tomorrow, if you read my note in the morning, depending where we open, you know, the way I would say it in my note, I'll say, Apple, it's been a great trade above the 8 and 21 day. Nice 3-day moves post earnings. Yesterday, things changed. What we know today is 149.71 is yesterday's low. You know, it depends on where we're opening. Are we opening above it, below it? You know, today we'll see if it, just say if it's above it. Say, see if it can hold above it. Maybe it tries to break below. If it breaks below and holds below, you can get a move to the, you know, the 21 day or the prior breakout here, you know, and if it breaks below and comes back above it, then we had some price discovery. We could be a buyer versus the morning low and hopefully get, you know, we just came in from, you know, 157 down to 150. That's 7 points lower in Apple. That'll at least give you a different type of trade. I also came along Amazon, but I was like, okay, Amazon's had a big move. Do I think it can go to 1,000 this year? Yes, but if we correct, everything kind of corrects. So here you go. Here's your 8-day moving average on Amazon. Amazon actually was one of the last to hold up. I bought it early on. I had a few hundred overnight. I bought a few hundred more right around 952, 953. And then on the rally back, I was like, you know what, let me be safe. Okay, and I think I tweeted to my Redler All Access, I'm out of it at 958. What was that? So this was the open up. Came back towards 960. Okay, started to roll over, and I'm like, I'm out of it. I even think that some of us, I was shorting it somewhere around here, and you know, didn't stick with it, and then finally I came back later and after doing Fox Business, and it rolled fully over. But anyway, you know, that could have been a hell of a lot worse if I got stubborn. Good. So now this is below the 8-day. So if it's below the 8-day, you know what? It could hit the 21-day, which is right here. Okay, so now you get rid of some of these lines, and now tomorrow, you know, again, for my note, depending on Amazon, you know, if it opens down $3, I'll say, you know, Amazon, after hitting an all-time high, broke the 8-day with a low of 944.12. Let's look to see if it could hold the 21-day near 935 for a scoop. And if it could hold there, we buy it. If it gets back above 944, maybe you get a little red dog reversal. Or if it opens up above it tomorrow, up $3-4, and say, hey, Amazon got hit yesterday. See if they could hold it up. If they can and it breaks below 944.12, get out of the way. It could hit the 21-day, and if it breaks the low and can't stay below it, maybe we get a red dog reversal entry for a trade. So that's what we're looking for now. Red dog reversals or H cell setups. Let me show you what the H cell setup is so you know in the spiders, because we had it today. So like I said, I was short it, came in covered a little bit early because I thought maybe this would hold. Then after an hour of price discovery, you had this. Okay, here you go. This is how you do an H cell setup. First of all, this was the low of the day. Okay, this was your morning low right there. So gap down, came back up. This actually is an H cell setup too. Okay, just like this, where you know it puts a one low in here. Okay, and then comes up. Actually, was can't rally, and then breaks that. So here's like what would be like kind of like your pole. So this is what a lowercase h looks like, right? Big move lower, tries to bounce, rolls over, breaks the morning low, goes lower. Then here was another H cell setup. Now this is the low. Rallied back up. I tweeted to you guys. I said I'm getting short here at what was it? 230. What do I keep pressing this thing? I'm sorry. 237.50 to 237.80. Yes, that was the level. Okay, right here. So this was a spot where I was shorting into. So this way, it comes in, gets oversold, bounces up. Okay, so that was my spot to say I'm going to short against this. And I'm shorting 237.50 to 237.85, and I'll put my stop in at 238.15 because I didn't think it would get over that. If it got over that, then maybe I'm wrong. So this was the spot to short against. Okay, and then now you have another bigger H, right? That was a small H. Now here's a bigger one. Comes in, puts in a low, bounces off of it to make the lowercase h. You short some resistance, so this way you're not just pressing a prior low, which a lot of us like to do. So you're getting a good price, rolls down, so you're already short tier 1, then all of a sudden it breaks the low. When you should break a low, you can go lower, you short tier 2, and then maybe you cover back to your tier 1. Look, it came back up, retested. You could have got short again, went lower, covered some, and that's how you could have traded this, even if you came in long and got flat in the first half hour. This low was 11 o'clock. It could have been a whole new day for you. Got rid of what happened in the past few weeks, the trend, the portfolio approach to everything. Now, new day. We could have a trend down day, and we could have a new tactical approach to the market. So, anyway, you go back to the daily chart, and at this point, it's again, not this is 2% off the highs. You still have a lot of headlines, a lot of things going on. This to me is you have to clean up. If you're just buying into this, saying, hey, we've bought into this before, we're just going to rally up, okay. But the time that we actually don't hold up and we do correct, 5%, you're not going to be able to probably hold, down to, these lower levels, in my humble opinion, position, or my humble opinion, whatever the hell I call it. Because all in all, still, all said and done, actually, this is another level just broke there. So a lot of room here, okay? And if you go back even further, you go to your weekly, it just broke this too, and look where it came from. You go to your monthly, so we've been rallying now for, I don't know, how many, 7, 8 years? So the last thing you want to do is get caught in what could be something a little bit bigger. So as an active day trader or active swing trader, or someone who trades for P&L and cash flow, you know what? This trade, holding positions, waiting for a new high to 24.40, is now off the table. Does it mean we're going to be getting annihilated? No. It just means that we could have some price discovery. And I'd rather you sit and have you tactical than holding your nose or going in the water and potentially not being able to handle it. So it is Wednesday. I think they said Comey's going to testify next Wednesday. There's going to be a whole lot of headlines back and forth. At this pace, hopefully, you did reduce all your swing positions. Listen, if you've been in Apple for 5 years, you're probably not selling it today. And if you're a long-term investor, you know what? If we did get a corrective phase, keep putting it into your 401k, your 529. This is what will help build your average cost. If you're 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, it doesn't matter. Only if you trade for P&L and cash flow does this, put yourself in a different type of trade than you had here or you had here. Okay, and now we'll see what happens in the next few days. 235.75 is your new point of reference, and we'll see if we trade into the lower end of this range or not. Hope this helped. Hope I helped this morning. I listed a chart. You could look online on the S&P, with some thoughts. I do it every day. Look at 8:30. It's there with some thoughts about some of the other sectors and some of the other keys to the day. I think we did the S&P cash. I did the small caps IWM, the XLF, and Apple. Those are all the things that I positioned in front of my eyes to see whether or not we opened down 15 handles and closed down 5, or opened down 15 handles and closed down 25, 30. And every day there are clues to how the day will unfold. And if you have it in front of you with the plan, you could execute and participate versus getting, a little run over. Tonight, it's beautiful out. Go for a walk, go for a run, go burn off the day. Whether you had a great day and you were short, congratulations. Whether you got a little nicked up and got out of the way and you've had a good run, or you got a little bit hurt and got a little bit stubborn, but review how you did it, review how you handled it, and next time you could probably do a little bit better. Bye-bye.